Hello and welcome. My name is Sunshine, the project manager, Sunshine Resources. In this video, we shall be talking about how to earn money without putting a continuous effort, time and energy. In other words, how you can earn money even when you are sleeping. You see, ladies and gentlemen, we are now living in a digital age. A lot of things have changed dramatically. You can now create a system or discover a system that can earn money for you even when you are sleeping. This information is very important, especially to those people that have become slaves to salary ethics. Please pay attention to what I'm going to share with you now, as it can change your life dramatically. Now, let me continue with the story of two young unemployed men in a small village. The story is called The Parable of the Pipeline. It is a book written by an American author. There were two young unemployed men in a small village, Bruno and Pablo. Both of them do not have any means of livelihood. Until one day, the village head invited them to his palace and offered them a job to always fetch water from the village nearby river to a storage tank for a certain wage. They will be paid based upon how many buckets of water they fetch from the river into the village storage tank. It seems like a good offer, as both Bruno and Pablo agreed without any hesitation, and they were filled with excitement. Until they started fetching the water from the village river, which is about 3 kilometers away from the village. Now, after a short while, Pablo realized that it was a very tedious and difficult job to do. Hence, he came up with an idea. Pablo now thought of building a pipeline from the river to the village storage tank. After meditating upon his idea for a while, the idea seems excellent, and he now decided to share it with his friend Bruno. But Bruno seems not to be interested. Bruno complained of the cost implication of the project, the time, and so many other things. Bruno was generally not interested in the idea. To him, that is Bruno, he was comfortable carrying his bucket of water daily on his head. Now, Pablo went ahead to execute his project by constructing a pipeline from the river to the village storage tank. After the project was completed, water can now be delivered from the river directly into the village tank. Pablo now makes money effortlessly without putting continuous effort. His money runs anytime, even when he's sleeping. He now has the time to travel, go on vacation and enjoy his life. His money now works for him. Bruno, his friend, on the other hand, was still carrying a bucket of water on his head daily from the river to the village tank. On the day he falls sick, his income becomes zero. For any reason, if Bruno cannot go to fetch water from the river, his income automatically becomes zero. Not quite long, Pablo started receiving contracts from the neighboring villages to construct water pipeline to those villages, and his income was expanding more and more. Pablo kept making more and more money effortlessly. And that brings me to the end of my story. Ladies and gentlemen, 95% of people in this world are like Bruno. They are bucket carriers. That means that only 5% of people are like Pablo. People like Pablo will create a system or look for a system where they can invest their money and their money works for them. This is called passive income. When you create a passive income, you send money on an errand to go and work for you. Most of us are familiar with active income. Active income comes to you only when you work. This means that when you retire or fall sick, or for one reason or the other, if you do not work, no money comes in. My dear friends, the world that we live in today is dynamic. It is changing technologically beyond human understanding. It was just a few years ago, in the 80s, that we write and post letters using companies like Night Post. Today, Night Post is completely dead. Our telephone lines were analog. Landlines with telephone cables spread across the country. ATM was a mirage. As a matter of fact, if you could talk ATM then, some 30 years ago, it would seem like a fallacious, mysterious dream. Digital payment or transfer of money can only be imagined in the spiritual world some 30 years ago. The internet, for example, we could say if you imagine it then, it could be an occultic imagination. But today, letter writing and posting have been replaced with electronic email. In a fraction of a second, large volume of information can be dispatched. Mobile telephones and accessories are everywhere. Even my dog has a mobile phone. ATM have suspended and replaced some bank staff and their jobs. we can transfer money any time of the day in any part of the world. Cashless society, we may say. As a matter of fact, our monies and businesses now float in the air. The atmosphere is saturated with digital money and wallet, including cryptocurrency. We are operating in a cloud-based economy. With the internet and e-commerce, we can now do business with anybody in any part of the world. You can reach as many people as possible. So what are you still doing with salary if you have all this information and knowledge? Some people think that this knowledge or skill is for special people. My dear friends, that is absolutely wrong. You can form your idea so long as it is a problem-solving idea, and you can transpose your ideas and construct it into an e-commerce website and allow it to solve few problems for people. And just what happens to your financial world as your ideas solve problems for people through your website. Don't ever think that people that are creating these ideas have double brain. When you think like that, you are just making yourself inferior. You cannot make all the money that you need with your effort alone. As a matter of fact, your effort cannot take you anywhere. You need to leverage on the system of the day to be able to make enough money to live a good life. Unfortunately, the system of money making that we met and everybody leveraged upon was salary. But I want to let you know that in the age of information technology and internet revolution, salary is outdated. If the only means by which you earn money legitimately is salary, then you are doomed for life. Take for example the founders of Jumia.com, Gigi.com, Uber.com, Hotel.com, Alibaba.com, Facebook.com, Google.com, and so many e-commerce companies leverage on the internet technology to create digital income. Money made through digital sales have no geographical and time boundaries. It drops at any time of the day from any part of the world. The importance of e-commerce in the modern way of doing business cannot be overemphasized. The e-commerce companies are the next breed of millionaires and multi-millionaires in the century. Apart from e-commerce, one other powerful way by which you can make digital money, with in fact the latest technology on this planet, is by cryptocurrency mining. How can you become part of cryptocurrency mining and benefit from it by creating passive income for yourself? That is what I'm going to show you now. But before we go into the cryptocurrency mining, let's first and foremost try to understand what is cryptocurrency. Please permit me to take you through the school of cryptocurrency. And so the first question is, what is cryptocurrency? A cryptocurrency is a medium of exchange like normal currencies, such as United States dollar, but designed for the purpose of exchanging digital information through a process made possible by certain principles of cryptography. Cryptography is used to secure the transactions and to control the creation of new coins. The first cryptocurrency to be created was Bitcoin back in 2009. Today, there are hundreds of other cryptocurrencies, often referred to as altcoins. Now, what is Bitcoin? The correct answer is the first decentralized digital currency. Satoshi Nakamoto launched the Bitcoin protocol in 2009. So before we begin to understand this, let's start with a more basic question that most people usually don't ask themselves. And the big question is, what is money? Money ultimately is simply the tool that we use to exchange values. Throughout history, we have used a lot of things as money, from seashells to precious metals to salt, and the most popular money historically has been gold. And there's good reason for this. Gold works really well as money. It is rare, so it is not worthless. And it is tangible, so if you are holding on to it, it's probably yours. It's pretty simple. And this worked for thousands of years. No matter what social institutions exist around you, no matter who the king or government is at that particular time, gold just worked. Then came along a new invention: paper money. One fundamental problem with gold money was that it was tangible and bulky. The more of it you have, the more load of money you have to store. At that time, storage facility was a big problem apart from portability. Anyone who owns much gold must be concerned about its storage to avoid being stolen away. Talking about storage and keeping it safe from theft, it came to a point where people started keeping their gold with the goldsmith, because the goldsmith have a better safe where they keep the gold and no one can steal them. The goldsmith will usually issue a paper receipt to a gold depositor, signifying on the paper receipt the worth or the value of the gold deposited. Anyone who has a receipt of a gold deposited with the goldsmith can do transactions with the receipt. People who have gold deposits with the goldsmith and with the receipt on their hands started doing transactions with the receipt, while the gold, which is the ultimate treasure, lies at the safe of the goldsmith. Later on, the government of nations took over the safeguard of people's gold from the goldsmith. This was what gave birth to paper money, that is, the money that was backed up by gold. It became fiat money when people generally accepted that they should forget about the gold and accord the paper the value of that latent gold, that is, that hidden gold, with the goldsmith. This was the protocol that gave rise to paper money. The government took the power to print and mint paper money and distribute the money to her citizens through salaries, which have always been insufficient and is constantly being swallowed by inflation. Paper money was subjected to inflation, that is, the value continued to go down year in, year out. We all know that inflation has ruined our financial status and have caused enormous poverty all through the century. The government of nations, through their fiscal policies, have used paper money to control the financial status of people. The net effect is more and more people are getting poorer and poorer. Banks have exploited people tremendously when they create pools of money with our deposit and we do not get anything in return. Instead, depositors are subjected to unnecessary charges every day. Decades later, in 2008, an anonymous researcher published a paper describing how to solve this problem with a centralized solution, that is, without a bank. He called it Bitcoin and went on to describe how you can make a ledger that doesn't rely on a single particular bank. This is a decentralized solution. This may sound confusing or at best like science fiction. How does something work if it is decentralized? You actually already know the answer to this. You are using a decentralized solution right now to watch these videos, the internet. Think about it. Nobody owns the internet. It is the most vast and powerful network that humans have ever created. But there is no internet incorporation, so it is decentralized. Lots of individuals and private companies all built the infrastructure of the internet across companies and borders and even ideologies, and it works. Much thanks to the profit motive and economic interest. The same way the internet decentralizes information technology, so also Bitcoin decentralizes money. In Bitcoin, the dictionary that helps everyone stay on the same page is the ledger, and this ledger is called the blockchain. Advantages of Bitcoin. Let's look at the advantages of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the first decentralized cryptocurrency. It is the first currency that does not belong to any government or anybody. In the history of human civilization, this is the first time that such money will come into existence. That is money not controlled by any government. The government of nations over the years have used fiscal policies to control the destiny of our citizens, and this has impoverished so many people. This was the reason behind government opposition of Bitcoin at inception. But unfortunately for them, because the internet does not belong to anybody and the government have no relevant skills about the blockchain technology, then they couldn't win the war against Bitcoin. The blockchain technology was far greater than government of nations. Bitcoin is inflation proof. One fundamental quality of fiat currency is that it constantly suffers inflation. This is paramount, especially in African nations such as Nigeria. Inflation have dealt and impoverished so many people. Prices of commodities continue to go up every day, while the amount of salaries remain constant. The net effect is that people get poorer and poorer. But thanks to the blockchain technology, the value of Bitcoin as at the time of making this video is as follows. 1 Bitcoin is equal to $3,900, and which is equal to 1,365,000. So, will you not prefer to save your money in Bitcoin instead of Naira? Bitcoin is generally accepted by many merchants. Big companies like Microsoft Word, Dell, eBay, Amazon, PayPal, etc. are all accepting Bitcoin as a medium of exchange. The usability cut across continent of the world. So what is Bitcoin Wallet? A Bitcoin wallet is a program that sends and receives Bitcoin, store Bitcoins, and monitor Bitcoin balances. Just like you need an email program like Yahoo Mail or Gmail to manage your email, you need a Bitcoin wallet to manage your Bitcoin. So what is Bitcoin mining? Now this is the juicy part of this program. This is the most important part of this lecture. This is the heart of the matter. Why am I doing this? Because I want you to understand what Bitcoin mining is. This is the latest area which people invest in, and this is where you can make your money from. This is where you can make your passive income from. So pay attention as I take you through what is Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin mining is the process of creating, or rather discovering, Bitcoin currency. Unlike real world money that is printed when more is needed, Bitcoin cannot simply be willed into existence, but has to be mined through mathematical processes. Bitcoin maintains a public ledger that contains past transactions, and mining is a process of adding new transactions to this ledger. Now, let me proceed. Bitcoin mining is essentially the acquisition and creation of Bitcoin as a way to introduce more coins into the system. As a reward for doing computational work, the Bitcoin network contains a public ledger of all transactions called blockchain, which serves to confirm all past transactions to the rest of the network that were all legitimate, so that already spent coins have been transferred accordingly. Now, from what we've read here, let me try to break it down in a very simple language. Just like the CBN, the Central Bank of Nigeria, print and mint fiat currency, Bitcoin mining is simply a way of producing Bitcoin. And it might interest you to know that who can mine Bitcoin? Anybody can mine Bitcoin. All you need is the technical skills, the machinery to be able to do it. Anybody can do it. This is the most important part of this story. Anybody, it doesn't matter. No government controls you. No individual controls you. You have the power to start mining Bitcoin. Mining of Bitcoin simply means producing, willing Bitcoin into existence. The process of mining here is a process of production of Bitcoin. So just like I said earlier, anybody can do it. But the problem with mining of Bitcoin is that it is a very technical process. You require a lot of skills and it's capital intensive. That's the problem with Bitcoin mining. So even though I said anybody can do it, you must be skilled enough to be able to do it, and you should have enough capital to be able to go into Bitcoin mining. But don't worry about that. How to invest into Bitcoin mining is what I'm going to talk about now. I'm going to show you how you can invest into Bitcoin mining. Even though you don't have the money to start your own Bitcoin mining company, there are companies that are already existing that are into Bitcoin mining, that is the production of Bitcoin, and you can become a partner with such company. Becoming a partner with such company means that you're going to purchase a plan, a crypto mining plan with those companies, and as soon as you purchase those plan with them, you start earning money. Now, purchasing a crypto mining plan here simply means that it's like the company will lease some of their machines to you, so that machine will start to mine Bitcoin for you. The Bitcoin is for you. It's a contract you're going to enter with the company, and then they lease the machines to you, and these machines, even though it's under their control, they are the one controlling, but you have purchased some contract with them, and these machines will start mining Bitcoin for you. So far, ladies and gentlemen, this is one fabulous way by which you can invest in Bitcoin and you start making your passive income. You don't have to go through any stress. Day in, day out, your money keep accumulating. Now, in the next video, I'm going to introduce you to this company, AWS Mining. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you get the juice of the matter. This is the juice of the matter. What I'm about to do now is to introduce you to how you can make good money. Good money. When I mean good money that is using the latest technology of the day. Bitcoin mining is the latest technology of the day. Thank you very much for watching, and God bless you. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching.